자식들의 대리딸이 두과 찌는 윤대기 동리슈 로우니동리슈 Zina Tukwa, class 6, Lobzin, Greek, Tibetan, today date 6, 7 month 2020, class 6. Good morning my dear students, class 6. Welcome back to our online classes. So, last time I had taught you the literature part. Hegi Pao, and Hegi Pamu. So, I have stopped for the grammar section for a few days. Today also I am going to take the literature chapter itself. So next week I will go through again grammar section. So if I take continuously grammar section, I think you feel bored, and if I take continuously literature section, I feel you feel bored. Okay, today page number 72. Those who have books, you can turn to page number 72. Those who don't have books, I will click and send it to your WhatsApp group so you can look there. Question answers I have marked it and send it to you. Please copy it in your exercise copy with your good handwriting. Only question answers we have to do. Okay? So let us start our chapter. Paksha Tawa. Paksha, I think you all know what I mean by Paksha. Pork, Tawa means to sell. Selling for meat. How? What is the reason? What is the content of this story? Let us read and find out. Nienchiga, Nietzsche Zango, Nedong, Yelgui, Papa Yakshute, Lodu, Seches, Nienchiga, one day. Nietzsche Zango, in that place, Nietzsche Zango, Nedong, Yelgui, Nedong is a place. Nedong, Yelgui, Papa Yakshute, Lodu, Seches, was killed. A fat pig was killed by the current, electric shock. Yelgui Jundu songs. The servant went in front of a king. Gyalgola, your majesty. Ke Changi, Papa Yakshute, Nipok Shidu. Your fat pig had been dead because of sick. Now, where to throw this dead body? Where to throw this dead body of a pig? He asked to the king. The servant asked to the king. Gyalbu, king replied, Make clean of the dead body of a pig and take it to the market and sell it. Ringtang, Rimpa Kazu Mepara, Zubu Shugu shares. And whatever you get money, you have to return me back. The king told to the servant. After that, Nietzsche Zangbu, the servant Nietzsche Zangbu, Gyalbu Kashin, Paksha Kurni, Tomla Song days. As the order given by the king, he took all the meat of a pig and went to the market for sale. He screamed and he shouted, "Is there anybody interested to buy the pork who was dead by sick? Is there any interested to buy this pork, but the pig was dead by the sick, by the illness?" He stayed whole day shouting like that. He cannot sell even a piece of meat. If he shouts like that, the pig was dead by the ill, so who is going to buy that pork? No one will buy that pig. Then he again brought back the pork to the palace in front of a king. And he said, there is no one to buy this pork. 결국에 다시 총대 죄대 사나 did XAVIER'S. Then the king gave order. Okay then, let us cook and have a meat. Let us cook and have a pork meat. And the king gave order to the Nietzsche Sangpo, to the servant. Nietzsche Sangpo, the servant Nietzsche Sangpo, Gyalpola, yes, your majesty. Kegi, Shashe-san, Yanakwasi Shubes. So he asked to the king, your majesty, what do you want to have? You want to have soup or you want to have a meat? He asked. Gyalpo, the king replied, Nani Gyalpo inde, Shasawa ins, I am a king, I have to eat a meat. He said, the king said to the servant, I am a king, so I have to eat meat. Kyejo Koryo Namki Shako Tungna Tungwale Humide, you all servants, you all workers can have a soup. The king replied to the servant, Tadung Jugyu Tenji Ji Sheshe Ans. And the king said, why you are asking me all these obvious questions? Is there anything to ask more? The king replied to the servant. Then the servant cut the meat into small pieces. Then the servant cut the meat into small pieces. And he cooked for a long time. Like he cooked that meat for hours and hours. Shadoshing, Durshing, Hime, Koatan, Ripatsande, Lengume Parcurs. All the meat was melted and turned into soup. Only the flesh and the bone was left. Only the flesh and the bone was left. Nietzsche Sangpodan, Yoko Namki, Rochi Dembe Shako Tungwa Hangs. Nietzsche Sangpo, the man, the servant, and the workers of the palace have a very tasty soup. With a very tasty soup, Gyalpui Pagotan Riba Bulves, and they offer to the king the flesh of pork and the bone of that pork. Gyalpola, your majesty, the servant asked, Pagotan Riba Mato Shasama Nuni. Your Majesty, the sovereign said to the king, the meat was melted and turned into soup. Only the left was the flesh and the bone. You can have this, the flesh and the meat, the flesh and the bone, because the meat had been already melted into soup. Nietzsche said to the king, okay then, bring that soup. The king gave order to the servant, you go and get that soup. He gave order, the king gave order. 결국 지자미 바 균이 하고 잼이 대 샤가미 중. The servant told, there is no left soup because we all servant and we all the workers have already have it because it was your order. You are a king and you want to have meat. So when I cook, so it has done. The meat has been converted into soup. So only the left is this, the flesh and the bone. So the king felt very angry and he added bone and the flesh. Tenjimar, next time. Pakshasaka, when they are having pork in the palace. 결국 통만이 예제상으로 대리가 샤고군 초 he asked to the servant, he told to the servant, today I can have a soup. You all can have a meat. The king gave order. And the servant, he put all the meat into big size and cooked for a while, cooked for a short time, and took out the meat with the tasty meat, and he all had the meat. And the tasteless soup was offered to the king for the next time also. And they offered the soup where there is no taste at all to the king. This is the story. So, the moral of the story is, if you look to the servant, we should be very clever. And if you look at the king, we should not be selfish. You should not be selfish and you should not be greedy. Okay? The king was very greedy and selfish. That's why the revenge was taken by the servant. And the servant was very clever and he used his knowledge. So he had a very tasty soup. Earlier when they cooked, he could have a very tasty soup. And next time when they are going to have pork again, they have a very tasty meat. But the pig was killed by the servant by the electric shock, by the current. Okay, he gave the current to the pig and he killed the pig. And he said to the king, the pig was dead because of this sickness, illness. And the king gave order, you go and sell this meat, make it clean and go and sell this meat in the market and bring all the money back and give it to me. So when he went to sell the pork, so he shouted for a whole day that, is there anyone interested to buy the pork who was dead by the illness? So there was no one to get the pork. So he brought it back and he went to the king and the king gave order to let us go and have. So he asked, what do you want to have? You want to have a soup or you want to have a meat? So he scolded to the servant and said, I am a king, you all are servant. So obviously I have to eat meat. You all are servant, you can have soup. So he cut that meat into small pieces and cooked for hours and hours. All the meat was turned into soup with a very tasty soup. Only the left was flesh and the bone of that pork. So he offered that to the king. So next time when they were having pork, so that next time the king first itself he gave order to the major's uncle, to the servant, that today I can have a soup, so you all can have a meat. So he put that meat into big size and cooked for a few minutes, and he took out that meat which was very tasty. They all ate that meat and he offered the tasteless soup to the king. So like this was, we should not be selfish because the king was very selfish and greedy. So that is the story. Okay. So now question answers 1, 2, 3, 4 question answers are there. I have marked it and I have sent it to your WhatsApp group. So please write it in your exercise copy with your good handwriting. Okay, write it in your exercise copy with your good handwriting. Write down date and this topic and what you are doing. Okay, first one question answers. Okay. Second one, no need to do. After that, no need to do anything. Only the question answers we have to do for the class 6. So I have go for the next class. So that's class 7. So till then, for a week, we will meet in next class on Monday. Next time Monday. So do your study well. Stay home safe. Obey to your parents. Be confident with your studies. Don't waste your time. Thank you.